You are listening to a BeachGlass Media podcast.
We are back. Simple Times Podcast, episode 28. We're going to try to get through this one quick. It's kind of late. Andrew's got to get to work in the morning. I just want to get to bed to go to kickbox in the morning. Let's see, what are we going to do today? Simple shout-outs, always got those. Give you a fake ad update. We are transferring from BeachGlass Studios to BeachGlass Media. We'll tell you why. History with Jefe, Simple Times News, Jokes with Jefe. And in the middle of everything, we'll do a Mother's Day, Memorial Day talk, get that out of the way. So this way, we can officially call it episode 28, the mother of all memorials. Let's get to it.
Episode 28.
28 is the current age of my sister.
No way.
In about 4 days, she'll be 29.
Wow.
Yep.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I remember, not really meeting your sister, but knowing your sister back in our high school days, post-high school days. And, she'd just be out there in the background. We'd be playing table tennis in the garage.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I think of your sister as just this young girl. But no.
She's almost 30.
Almost 30. That's insane. But yeah, 28. I think that's how old I was when I got into the Postal Service. I think, if my math is correct.
How long have you been with the Postal Service?
6, maybe 7 years.
And you're 35 now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when you're about 28.
I was about 28.
Yeah.
That's how old I was, and I still feel 28.
See, 28. I think I was still at the retirement home at 28. Yeah, about 28. That was 2017, 2018, kind of in between somewhere.
So you retired early, huh?
Yeah, I did.
At 28.
Hey, I was able to.
All right. Well, Marcelo, I'm going to be the time Nazi on this episode.
Careful how you say Nazi on this one. I don't want to get YouTube to pull us down. So.
Oh, do you think they would do that?
They could. Yeah, I think they would. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. I really don't care about our content on YouTube as much as Spotify, because that's where we upload to.
You were going to be like a German train conductor.
A German train conductor?
They are very punctual.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm going to be a German train conductor.
That's the reason why German trains are never late. They're always on time.
Wow. I love that you always have fun facts, Marcelo.
I got it, yeah.
I love what you bring to the podcast.
Same thing with the Japanese bullet train. I've seen videos where actually they come out and the train, not necessarily the conductor, but the attendants, whatever you call them, are actually they have to go through an actual training thing. They have to know how to wear the uniform, how to wear the hat. They constantly check their time. It's like a whole parade thing.
I love people like that. People that take their job so seriously that it's like they're in the military.
Well, they're forced to. It's the bullet train in Japan, from what I've heard, is the most used way of public transportation. They don't there's buses and all that stuff, but the train is what everybody uses. And so if the trains were to ever be late, it would be a complete meltdown.
Oh, it would just destroy their economy, or
probably, because a lot of people use the train to get to work from literally one side to the other.
Yeah.
And it would be devastating if they were ever late. So.
And it starts with the uniform and just being military. Speaking of uniform and the military, I brought this up with Jurgen on our simple sessions we had on the previous episode. How the McDonald's uniform is changing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I read some news article that they're going for this hipster kind of vibe where they wear beanies and T-shirts and jeans.
Really?
Yeah. And so then it made me think about how the fast food industry is kind of going downhill. And let me explain why. I went to, where did I go? Carl's Jr. with my family.
Okay.
A couple days ago. And I mean, growing up, I remember going to fast food restaurants and the front counter person is like, "Hi, welcome to whatever the restaurant is.
Right,
How can I take
Greeting
your order?"
you, yeah.
They're all like happy and excited, happy that you're there. Complete opposite nowadays. I feel like when you go up to the counter, I feel like they hate you for walking into the store and ordering food. Like they're thinking, how dare you come in here and disrupt my job? And now I have to take your order and all this stuff. And let me explain why. So I'm walking in there with my kids, right? And our kids can be a little rowdy. And so I'm looking at the menu. I'm trying to figure out what everyone wants because I try to I want to have everything ready for the person to take my order.
You want to have it organized.
Yeah, and so I go up there and I'm like, hey, I'm going to do the special that you have, the 2 Western bacon cheeseburgers and a couple fries. And then I'm like, okay, my son wants a cheeseburger kids meal, but I said, can you add lettuce to that? And she's like, okay. And I'm like, and just pickles? No pickles. But we want the mustard and cheese. She's like, so what do you want on it? And I was like, geez, what is it? Where's this attitude coming from? And just no sense of her being nice or, cordial or happy to see you, but more like, just like, give me your order already. Like, it's taking forever. I'm like, geez. These people hate it when you go into their store. I swear.
I mean, coming from someone that doesn't have kids, maybe they just don't like dealing with big orders that have to do special stuff on it. Because think of it this way. They do it so they take all the special instructions, but they get one thing wrong. Do you go back up and make a big deal out of it, or do you just go, oh, they got it wrong, okay, eat it? You might just kind of, brush it off like, oh, okay, it was kind of difficult. We'll just eat out how it is. But but you know that there's those Karens out there that will make a ruckus, even though they made the order very difficult to follow. That's why if you go to higher end restaurants and you ask them to alter the meal in any way, they will actually reject and decline your business because they feel like, no, if you want to eat here, you are going to eat the way that we have it prepared.
Couple things, Marcelo. So first thing is my son wanted lettuce in his burger. They forgot the lettuce. And 2,
what kind of burger was it though first?
It was just like a junior cheeseburger, like the kids cheeseburger.
And those don't come with lettuce?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
So my son wanted to try lettuce on his burger.
Yeah.
He's getting into lettuce now.
Okay.
So they forgot the lettuce,
is he part rabbit now or what?
His ears are growing high now. They're growing up,
and those teeth are kind of getting a little long.
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's been eating a lot of carrots, but they forgot the lettuce. Okay. Did I complain? No.
Okay.
I said, son, just be thankful for what you got.
Yeah.
2, we're in California, right?
Yeah.
They're getting paid $20 an hour. And they can't give you a smile.
Dude, I'm getting paid 21 something an hour. I don't smile at work.
Your job is not to smile. Their job is to welcome the customer. I've worked fast food. You're supposed to greet the customer and be happy to take their order.
Well,
for $20 an hour?
So you're saying for $20 an hour they can't have emotions? I mean, what if they're having...
For $20 an hour, you should be faking your emotions.
Here in California, $20 an hour still doesn't get you shit, but...
yeah, that's a good point there.
I mean,
well, moving forward, Marcelo, guess what?
But before that, because you talked about McDonald's and all that stuff, did you hear that they're going to be phasing out free refills?
For real?
For real.
Dang.
Between now and I think they said 2037 or something like that, they're going to phase out free refills.
Wow.
So you're going to have to... And I believe the idea is they're going to try to push more towards like no dine in a fast food restaurant to kind of move the flow a little more. I've heard that some have actually kind of already done that. Mm-hmm. They've moved the fountains from like being like accessible to behind the counter.
Oh.
So you have to ask them to get a refill. And I guess in today's age of people not really wanting to bother people, they don't really do that much. So I eventually said that they're going to, and they said it's not a cost thing because they said some economics person, economists. Well, I can't remember what they're called. Economists, yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Found out that it's like 5 cents. It costs them literally 5 cents to make the soda or like to pour the soda out. Meaning, like the contents that go in, it's only costs like 5 cents a cup, but they're selling it for what, $1, $2. Why do McDonald's does the dollar any size? So they're making a 95 cent profit.
Oh, they're making a bunch
off
of money.
Each cup.
Oh yeah,
and they're like, yeah, it's not because they're they're losing money. They're literally making a profit off of it. And they said that they believe that it's all because they're trying to push you out a little faster of the restaurant so they could produce more. Which I mean, I don't mind at all. I mean,
as a business model, I mean, it sounds
for
smart.
someone that loves the drive-through. I never really go in for refills, anyways.
Good point.
I mean,
just get the large drink.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to be spending this much
I didn't
time
think
at McDonald's.
so either, yeah.
But guess what? I'm not done with McDonald's. So, something just popped up. So, one, if you listen to the special with Jurgen, which was the previous episode,
right?
Roughnecks in the Black Gold, Jurgen calls his old his alma mater.
Yeah,
he calls it Whack Arnold's.
And that's the thing is that why Whack Arnold's?
I don't know.
Why not Whack Donald's?
That's what I would have thought. Whack Donald's.
Why Whack Arnold's? Like
I don't know, but I think because it's sillier sounding.
Kind of.
Anyway,
I mean, but Whack Donald's kind of sounds a little more.
It's my favorite thing right now. Whack Arnold's. So speaking of Whack Arnold's, so talking about the fast food and how they're phasing out the refill stuff. Did you hear about the new like spin-off restaurant that they're making called Cosmic?
No.
I think it's spelled COSMC, like Mick. Cosmic. It's supposed to be like a very like small menu kind of restaurant that just has like the main menu items that people typically get and maybe some newer items. But it's a very limited menu, and I think they're starting to, I don't know, build them at like certain regions of the U.S. or something.
Okay.
But yeah, look out for that. I mean,
I could see that maybe like popping into like little malls and like areas like that where you have like a food court kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Popping because if I remember back in the day when like Delamo had like their big food court, they had a Burger King in there. And the Burger King didn't have like a full Burger King menu. It was usually just like a Whopper, a chicken sandwich. It was like 2 Whoppers, a Junior Whopper. It was like
the best sellers.
Yeah, basically. So I mean, I wonder if maybe they're trying to do that, like trying to, and then given that you have a lot of like pop-up places, pop-up stores and stuff like that, and or even like places like the Hangar. Have you been to the Hangar over in Long Beach?
Sounds familiar, but no.
So it's a decommissioned airplane hangar, and inside they have like, instead of being like restaurants, it's like kiosks kind of a thing, and they're like restaurants. They're like you can get like wine, get like beer, but like instead of having like a full on like bar, it's like they'll have like 3 items. Think of like Disneyland, like how you have like the little carts. They don't have full items. It's just like they'll have like 3 things of ice cream, 2 couple kinds of different sodas, and then like a pretzel, and that's all you get. You can't like go in and be like, oh, can I get a chicken sandwich here? Like it's like, no, you this is what we have.
This is what we have. Order this.
Yeah, so maybe they're trying to make it more like pop up. Explore the micro stores, I guess you can call them. I don't know what you call them.
It's pretty cool. I'd like to see one of these new Cosmics and see what they're all about.
Oh yeah.
So, But yeah, moving forward.
Yeah.
That was enough of Whack Arnold.
Whack. I'll call it Whack-Donalds. You'll call it Whack Arnold. Because I know Whack-Donalds to me just kind of sounds a little more
natural.
That and a little more inappropriate. Whack-Donalds. So.
We got simple shout-outs, Marcelo.
Okay. Again.
Yeah. So, from two places. We got some stuff from Facebook.
Again.
And
okay.
a comment on Spotify. Let's start with the Facebook stuff.
Yeah.
So, Facebook, the place that we don't really use anymore, because you mentioned this on the previous episode, you feel like Facebook is more for the older people.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it seems like. The only people that I've heard talk about Facebook lately are usually older people. I wouldn't say old people, older than us.
Yeah, they love that Facebook. I got nothing against Facebook. I mean, we got on Facebook when it first came out.
Yeah.
We were in high school.
We got on MySpace when it first came out. Remember that?
Yeah. But Generation Z, they don't know MySpace.
No, they don't.
Fun fact, that's where simple times all began.
On MySpace.
Thank you, MySpace.
And speaking of MySpace, we're segueing into there's a new podcast I was listening to. They do like artist spotlights and all that stuff. I've been hearing that I guess MySpace had like their own like now MySpace is like the term is like a genre of music. I guess there were like MySpace bands that were just popular on MySpace. Never put out any albums. Never put out went to concerts.
But there was a band that I listened to that I believe had some kind of connection with MySpace. Is a band called Sherwood, and I really got into it. And I think
sounds familiar.
I think MySpace kind of put them on the map. And I think I bought their CD. And if I remember, on the back of the CD case, it had a little MySpace logo.
Oh, really?
I think
okay.
Maybe MySpace kind of signed them or something.
Maybe,
but what you're talking about is different, right?
Kind of. I mean, it they were So essentially, what artist spotlight is, it's a podcast within a network, kind of like us, where they sit down and they talk about and they bring attention to unsigned bands, and a lot of them. I've been hearing them say oh, this sounds like a band, like a MySpace band, and I'm like, what? I don't know what that is. And then on TikTok, I started noticing people were saying the same thing, oh yeah, this sounds like a MySpace band that I used to listen to. And then I look, and I guess there were bands that were just on MySpace. Remember, MySpace had that music platform. That's how we were able to get our page on. And I guess they would make music and literally just put it up on MySpace, and they would take off that way. Either they would get signed or they would just become like a popular MySpace band that you would find just on MySpace.
Just on MySpace, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm like, shit, it's been 20 years since I've been on MySpace, and yet I'm still finding out new shit about MySpace.
So just like you said, it's considered like a genre.
Yeah, almost, yeah. And then actually, not that long ago, I just typed in MySpace to see if it was still up, and it is. And it seems like it's a strictly music platform now, almost.
Yeah, wasn't it like Justin Timberlake who bought it? It was going downhill.
I have no idea about that.
I think he bought it to kind of beef it up and hype it up again, but it just didn't work.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But anyway, enough about MySpace. We're going back to Facebook.
All right.
So we got a couple comments on Facebook.
Okay.
So remember this picture that I posted?
Yes.
It's the one where you're wearing the shirt that your mom gave you from the Bahamas?
Yeah. I think I know what one of the comments are going to be.
Yeah. So the first simple shout out is, of course, your mother.
Oh, of course.
And she says, "Love your shirt, Marcelo." And then she writes, "Andrew, where did all that hair come from?"
My dad, when he saw that picture, because he goes, I thought Andrew was a white boy.
Oh man!
And I was like, no. He was like, "That's Andrew?" I was like, "Yes." He goes, "No." He goes, "That's not the Andrew I remember." And he's, for whatever reason, remembers you being a white boy.
Really?
And I was like, "I'm the white boy, Dad. I'm the lighter one." I said, he's Salvadorian.
If I'm white, then you're translucent.
I guess so. Yeah.
But
I'm a ghost.
That's funny. Like I remember seeing your dad, meeting your dad when we played table tennis in the garage and all that.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't deny meeting you. It just.
But you know, it's funny. I get that a lot, and I don't know. Maybe it's the way I talk or something.
It could have been also the way you were dressing at the time.
Maybe
because I don't want to say it was kind of preppy, but it was kind of white boy. Yeah, kind of white boyish.
I did wear the surfing brands, Quicksilver, yada yada.
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
Could be. I don't know. Did he expect you to be all fucking choloed out or something like that? I mean,
possibly.
I know, right? But you're Salvadorian, so
it's funny when I had that Spanish for Spanish speakers class in high school. I remember one kid. He was like, "Hey, Andrew, I got a question for you. What are you?" And I was like, What do you mean? What am I?"
Yeah.
Because in my head I'm thinking, can't you kind of like tell by looking at me? He's like, and this is what he says. He goes, "Yeah, like, what are you? Are you Caucasian?" And I was like, "Caucasian? Dude, I'm darker than dirt."
I'll be honest, you could probably even pass off as like maybe Greek, like a Mediterranean kind of look, you know?
I could see that, I guess. But
because like you're not like totally dark, but you have like a tan look that could be passed off like as like a Mediterranean kind of look.
I don't know, but with the beard, the people at work, they make fun of me and say, "Hey, please don't blow us up." They think I look like a terrorist. But anyway,
I don't think that. Yeah.
So to answer your mom's question, because she said, "Andrew, where did all that hair come from?" Well, Mrs. Ann, when a boy goes through puberty, they start to grow hair all over the place. And
she knows. She plucks her own hair. So
Oh, I thought you were going to say she raised you.
Oh no,
so
well that
she knows about the
that
hair
too. That too.
And how it grows on faces
that too.
and stuff. But anyway, I think she meant my beard.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those things. I go through phases. I grow it out, then I shave it off.
Because I want to say that when we started this podcast again, you were clean shaven.
I was clean. I was keeping it nice and buzzed.
Yeah.
Short.
Honestly, I miss mine, but I can't grow mine back right now. So
because of work.
Yeah.
I
I can do a goatee, but I'm like, nah, it's not the same. So
Marcelo, I kind of miss your beard.
Yeah.
But but this look looks good on you too.
Yeah.
So. And then we got a comment from Becky.
Yep.
Or Kehoe. And she writes, "Love my chubby."
Yep.
Aww. Are you gonna tell us what that's all about? Why chubby? Were you chubby at some point?
That was her. That's always been her nickname for me.
Oh, how sweet!
Because I was a chubby baby. So ever since then, she just always called me her chub. You know, called me chubby. Hey chub. You know, just all the variations of it. So
very nice. Very nice.
The only two people that I've ever really let call me chubby, my Tia Becky and my Tio Jesse. Those were the only two that I ever. I mean, you know, of course, I've had, you know, like my Nana couldn't say no if she called me chubby, but she would never really call me chubby. It was usually my Tia thing. But I remember my Tia Becky's old boss Margie used to call me chubby because my Tia called me chubby.
Oh.
And that used to always get under my skin because I'm like,
what are you doing? Why are you calling me chubby?
Exactly.
I don't know you.
I'm like, why the fuck are you calling me chubby? That's not something that you can call me.
Right.
You know,
she hasn't earned that.
Exactly.
Oh
so,
no.
Yeah. There's been quite a few that I've tried that I'm just like, don't call me that. You know, that's not yours to call me.
Right. I feel you.
It's like when you say it, it feels like an insult. When she does it, it sounds like a term of endearment. So it's like, it's different. So,
you know what always bothered me when people made up their nicknames for me, like when people would start calling me Drew.
Oh, okay.
And I've never been called Drew, but then they just start calling me Drew.
Well,
and I'm like, I mean, I'll take it because I get it. It's short for Andrew, but
right.
No one's ever called me Drew, and then they just use it like, yeah, you're Drew.
Yeah, I mean, Drew can be can be pretty popular, you know.
Is there any nicknames for Marcelo?
Marcy.
Do you get called Marcy?
I usually don't. People have done it, but it just doesn't fit me. It just, you know, something that just doesn't fit me. My dad got called that a lot
Oh, for real?
Yeah. It was usually by my nana, his mom. Usually a lot of it was Marcy. You know, my mom used to call him Marcy too. You know, I've heard a bunch of people call him Marcy, but I don't know. Somebody at work tried that, and it just, I don't know, just didn't seem to fit right. Yeah, it just kind of even after he said it, he was like, that just doesn't seem to fit you. So it just So usually
he went, hey Marcy. No,
almost.
No, never doing that again.
So what they do usually call me is cello or cello.
I could see that.
Yeah, and what's funny is that I
like cello.
Do you remember Gabriel Lopez? He loved Tool, the band Tool. He had glasses.
Sounds so familiar.
Usually would skate with like me and Javi and all of them.
I remember Javi.
Gabriel. Well, he was a Guatemalan. No glasses. Man. Oh, he lived over by Busy Bee. No, still no. I know you've worked with them because when we worked at Sal, the few times that I brought you over there to work at Sal, he was one of the ones that was always there.
To work at
Sal's place? You never worked with me at Sal's place?
I don't think so.
Doing like warehouse cleanup?
No, that wasn't me. You never took me there.
I could have sworn I did.
All you did was take me to Port Seafood.
That I remember, yeah, but no, I could have sworn I took you there at least once or twice.
Never did.
Oh, okay.
I was always jealous too because here you were telling me, "Oh, I made this much money," and I was like,
"We for the time we actually made some pretty damn good money. It was $10 an hour, and we got paid in cash at the end of the day. So sometimes we'd walk away with like almost like $120."
Yeah, back when gas was $2 a gallon.
Yeah, less than that. I remember when gas was like under $1 at some point. Anyways, see, hold on. Let me backtrack here.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Crap.
My nickname. So he used to call me Cello first, and that started catching on. And then once I got out of high school, I never heard that name anymore. And then I can't remember, somebody said it, and I was like, I said I haven't heard that nickname in a while. It wasn't Gabriel, but I was like, I haven't heard that nickname in a while. And now at work, I hear it all the time. Everybody called me Cello, you know.
I like Cello. I might call you Cello every now and then.
The one that I always hated, just because I thought it was kind of. I mean, I get the correlation, but I mean, I just kind of was like, you guys couldn't get it. Was Marshmallow.
Yeah, I remember you telling me Marshmallow.
I mean, like, I was just kind of like, really, like that one of all.
Well, marshmallows are kind of chubby, and
yeah.
You are chubby.
Hey.
No. I'm saying you are chubby in the sense that you're called chubby by your tia. So you're chubby.
Right.
You are chubby to somebody.
Uh-huh.
Marshmallows are chubby.
Yeah. But still, I don't know. I'm just like I was like I don't know. I kind of felt like it could have been something a little more creative with it, but
you're not chubby. You actually look like you're in shape.
Yeah, kind of.
That kickboxing is doing good for you.
I am a little. I haven't really kickboxed in a couple weeks, so I am kind of getting a little chubby.
All right, what are we doing over here?
I have no idea.
We're still on simple shout-outs.
So you just did the 2 Facebook shout-outs.
And then we have a Spotify.
Okay.
Spotify.
All right.
So this one comes from a username YadiK. I know who that is. It's one of my coworkers. And this is what she writes. She wrote this about the previous episode, the one featuring Jurgen Romero.
Oh, okay.
That one's titled Roughnecks and the Black Gold. It's a Simple Sessions. And
actually, not to spoil it, in History with Jefe, we actually have another connection to Jurgen.
Oh.
Or to Jurgen's episode. So.
Oh, cool. I'm excited to hear History with Jefe. But this is what YadiK writes on Spotify with the Jurgen episode. She writes, very informative and entertaining episode. Thank you, Jurgen, and all the Roughnecks for all you do. So thanks again, YadiK, for that comment on Spotify. And very quickly, if you listeners ever want to be featured on Simple Shoutouts, it's easy. Just comment on our social media, where we're on Facebook, Instagram, X. But if I'm being completely honest, I'm mainly on Instagram. That's where we're most active. But yeah, give us a comment there, a like. And Spotify, we upload our stuff to Spotify, so you can interact with us there on the Q&A section. And don't forget about email. Email us your comments, your questions, any ideas you may have to simpletimespodcast@gmail.com. And you too can be featured on Simple Shoutouts. All right, Marcelo. Well, that's the end of that.
All right.
We do have
So moving right along, I think we should
update.
Yeah, give the fake ad updates.
So unfortunately, we don't have a fake ad to read, but I have some good news and I have some bad news. What would you like to hear first?
Oh, let's do the bad news first, so this way we can pick them up with the good news.
Well, that's too bad because I'm giving you the good news first.
Okay.
So, El Jefe, the good news is that for once in our podcasting career, Fake Ads has finally agreed to pay us for a perfect ad read. They said the ad read you did for Crack with a K, remember Crack with a K? They said it was perfect. Their words, not mine. So they sent us a check for $1,000. So now you're wondering, okay, Andrew, what's the bad news? Where's the money? Yeah,
I mean, getting $1,000 is actually a really good thing. I mean, we finally get it. It doesn't go to Patty, so.
I wonder when Patty's gonna join the episode again, or the podcast, I should say. I miss Patty. How's he doing?
We all do. He's doing good. He's still sending me pictures of his shillelagh in different pubs and shit. So
I really hope
clearly he's having fun.
I really hope you're talking about his walking stick.
Sure, if you want to call it that.
All right. I hope so. But so yeah, we didn't get the check of $1,000, El Jefe.
But you just said we did.
Well, they sent it.
Okay.
But
what do they do? A stop payment on it? What the fuck?
They on the where it says pay to the order of, they wrote. Oh, you're not gonna believe this. They wrote Backhouse Studios, which that's our old.
That's from like what, 10 years ago?
That's from freaking MySpace.
That's from MySpace days, yeah.
And a little bit of when I was living in the apartment.
No, we called it Beach House then.
We called it Beach House?
Yeah, we called it Beach House then.
Oh, so Backhouse is from when I lived at my parents' house.
Yeah, because there was that back house in your parents' place.
So I forgot to update the fake ad agency about our new name.
You just basically copied and pasted the MySpace days over to them?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I forgot to update the mailing information.
And you're a mailman. How can you forget the mail?
I know. So I can't blame the mailman because they read the name and they're like, I don't recognize this. So I'm going to send it back, return to sender. So, but as we all know, we are now known as BeachGlass. Well, we were BeachGlass Studios for a little bit, but we are officially going with this new name, BeachGlass Media. Yep. Now I want to provide a little explanation.
Which has also been updated on all of our social media platforms. It all says BeachGlass Media, no longer BeachGlass Studios.
So I just want to spend a quick minute on what that's all about. So BeachGlass Media is basically our podcast network.
Yeah.
And we have big ideas with this podcast network. And we are like, you have your podcast, your secondary podcast.
Yeah.
And then I have a coworker who says she wants to start her podcast. And so they're going to be part of the BeachGlass family. And yeah, we're just going to be bringing you new content and promoting new podcasts for you to listen. So, yeah, it's just an exciting thing, a little endeavor that we're embarking on. And basically, BeachGlass Media is basically my editing services. So if you have a podcast, I'm more than happy to help you get on your 2 feet. It's basically a DIY podcast network. So you record your stuff and I can help edit it, and that's pretty much it.
All right.
Well, all that to say, we have a lot of history together. We had the history about our podcast a little bit, and
all right.
and the
Are you trying
history of
to take my segues away? All right, I get it.
No,
I get it.
history like MySpace days.
The hell?
What was that?
That someone banging at the door?
Yeah. Let me go. Holy crap!
Boy, I guess they really want to.
Hey, let me go check that out real quick.
All
That
right,
was
go ahead.
That is way too loud. What?
Yeah, you first.
Ah! What the hell? Huh?
Andrew.
It's you!
Yes.
Oh no.
Don't worry, you won't be here long. I just wanted to remind you that since I've heard such good things about A Fear and Review, the podcast that I had recommended you from last time,
I remember that.
I just want to have you tell your listeners and your followers that it is now on Spotify. You can find it by searching in the search bar, A Fear and Review. 2 episodes are up currently. Please, Andrew, you need to go. The owner of the house isn't quite fond of guests right now, which is why I had to make the quick entrance for you.
So, do you promise not to kill me if I promise to listen to the new episodes?
We will spare your life for now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But if you don't listen to episode 3, which will be coming out soon, things may get dicey.
Oh, okay. I
Andrew,
will
you
for
need
sure
to
be
go.
listening.
You need to go.
Yes, I'm listening
now.
to the episodes right now. I'm getting the hell out of here. Whoa,
What the heck?
Marcelo.
What? What are you tripping on?
No.
Over your own feet?
I just got sucked into some weird haunted house.
Huh?
The caretaker was there.
Oh, God,
and-
not this again.
What? No. I'm telling you, this is real.
Uh-huh.
So he was telling me about a podcast, A Fear and Review.
You know what? Hold on. Let me go open the door. Let me look.
Go look. He's right there.
Andrew, there's nothing here. It's just your backyard.
No. But I got sucked in.
Come here. No, look.
I'm looking.
Look here. I'll even turn my flashlight on. All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right.
What?
Do you see?
Huh?
Look, just your backyard. That's all it is.
No. But I got sucked in.
I didn't look like it here. It looked like you just walked through the door and then walk right back in. So, I mean...
Oh, man. Did you roofie me?
I did not. You're not drinking anything.
My coffee.
You made it.
But...
It's been in your hand the entire time.
You're right about that.
I don't know what's going on, but we're going to have to try to figure something out later. I don't know. But
All right.
A Fear and Review, you were talking about that. Because I do remember that was the email that I got a couple weeks ago.
Right. Man, I'm just tripping right now. I think because it's late.
Maybe, but what was this about A Fear and Review? You were saying something?
Okay, he said A Fear and Review, the podcast, is finally up on Spotify.
Okay.
There's 2 episodes up, a third one on the way. This is the podcast you do, right?
Yeah, which is odd because I mean, it was just put up to Spotify today, but I mean, I didn't think anybody knew about it.
Oh.
I mean,
Well,
I was going to surprise you with it here by talking about it. That's why I was like, wait, what's this about a Fear and Review? Who's telling you this? I mean,
so you were gonna surprise me,
yeah,
but I already
somebody else, I guess,
the guy
knew
told
about
me.
it.
The guy, the caretaker, he
Okay,
told me.
Sure, okay. All right. I don't look.
You're really
listen,
gonna act like
listen,
you're gonna act
look,
like
listen.
you don't know.
I don't know where you're getting this information. I don't know. Maybe you happen to look it up on Spotify yourself. I don't know, but
No, I did not know about this. The caretaker told me.
okay. Well, it's all in the past. It's all history now. So let's just go into history with Hefe. today is May 24th, at least on the day of this being recorded. So today in history, not a lot, but I mean, there's some pretty cool stuff. Like today, in 1844, Samuel Morse, you know Morse code, okay?
Yeah.
Taps out, "What hath God wrought?" W-R-O-U-G-H-T, not R-O-T. In the world's first telegraph message. In 1883, on this day, the Brooklyn Bridge opened up by President Chester A. Arthur and New York Governor Grover Cleveland.
Was that the bridge that got that a ship smashed into?
No, that is the that was in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, Baltimore.
And that was the
Baltimore Bridge.
No, was it Frederick Scott Key?
Oh, that one.
I think that was his name. Something like that, but no, it was in Baltimore. It's not, it's not the Brooklyn Bridge. Today in film and TV, in 1895, Henry Irving becomes the first actor to receive a knighthood.
A knighthood?
A knighthood. So a knighthood is when you're from the UK and you make such like a big impact in whatever it is that you do that they make you a knight. So you're actually like a knight in the royal family and all that stuff. And
okay, so not a KKK knight.
No.
Hood.
No.
Oh no, let's get that away. We don't want to be blocked on YouTube.
Yeah, we do not.
No thanks.
In 1803, in music, Ludwig van Beethoven and black violinist George Bridgewater perform a concert together in a Garten, Vienna.
Cool. I didn't know he collaborated.
I didn't either. In 1962, the Beatles record Sweet Georgia Brown and Swanee in Hamburg, Germany to close out their contract with producer Ben Campofert. Tony Sheridan later dubs vocals over the track.
I'll be honest, I don't know those songs.
I don't either. I've never been a big Beatle fan anyways. Today in sports, in 1935 was the first Major League night baseball game.
Oh, at night.
Yeah, being held in Cincinnati against the Cincinnati Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Cincinnati Reds won 2-1.
Cool.
Fun fact for Did You Know, American management consultant Marilyn Lawden first coins the term glass ceiling to describe invisible career barriers for women.
Cool.
So, famous birthdays on today. Queen Victoria was born on this day in 1819.
All right.
Some celebrity birthdays. We got Bob Dylan celebrating his 83rd birthday today.
Nice.
We got actor John C. Reilly celebrating his 59th birthday today. 59. And then here is the connection that I was talking about to your Jurgen episode.
Yeah.
Roseanne Cash, daughter of the Man in Black, Johnny Cash, celebrates her 69th birthday today.
Oh, very cool.
Who also has her own, I guess, musical career. She actually was a pretty good, successful musician in music. I don't know how else to do that. Another fun fact about today: in the Judgment of Paris, wine testers rate wines from California higher than the French counterparts, challenging the notion of France being the foremost producer of the world's best wines. That happened today in 1976.
Oh, not too long ago.
Famous weddings on today in 1986 is American country singer Garth Brooks, one of my all-time favorite country singer and possibly even my all-time favorite singer of all time.
Wow.
Weds his first wife, songwriter Mandy Moll, who then they later divorced in the year 2001. So, famous deaths in history. Today was Nicholas Copernicus. He died today in 1543.
The scientist.
Correct. Do you know what he was famous for? He was actually an astrophysicist, an astronomer, actually I think it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's famous for?
Man, once you say it, I'm going to be like, oh, I knew that, but what?
He was the first person to tell people that the planets revolve around the sun. He was the one that changed the notion because everybody thought that everything revolved around the Earth.
Right.
But he was like, no, everything revolves around the sun. And people thought that he was crazy for it, cast him out, but only to later on be able to go, oh yeah, he was actually right. So, also who died on this day? Duke Ellington. He's a very, very probably one of the best, if not the best, jazz musicians. He was a pianist.
Cool.
He died on this day in 1974. And then also talking about one of the greats of all time, the queen of rock and roll herself, Tina Turner, died on this day 1 year ago in 2023.
Oh.
I know.
R.I.P.
Yep, but yeah, that's History with Hefe for today.
Thank you, Marcelo, for beautiful history.
Well, I try.
And since we're on the topic of history, and since we're finally getting to the meat and potatoes of this episode, which, maybe it won't be meat and potatoes. Maybe it'll be like French fries and a cheeseburger. Because, we got to bring this episode close to an end.
Well, speaking of cheeseburgers and all that stuff, you know what's coming up? A holiday in which is basically the biggest grill out.
You're right. And you are talking about
Memorial Day.
So, I didn't really have a lot of stuff planned. We have a thing where a lot of our episodes revolve around the holidays.
Right.
And since Memorial Day is coming up, I just want to say a quick thing about Memorial Day that we should be thankful for those who served in our military to fight for our country, for our rights. That we should be thankful for those people.
Now, let me tell you this, just because I've heard this from a lot of veterans.
Oh, okay.
There is a difference that not many people really seem to realize between Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
Oh, yeah.
So Memorial Day is
people
more
get them confused a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so Memorial Day is majorly focused on those that have died serving in the military.
Right.
Whereas Veterans Day is usually... Veterans Day, you can combine both, the ones that have fallen and the current living. But it's just, I've heard from several different veterans that say that it's weird that people come up to them and say, Happy Memorial Day, thank you for your service. And they're kind of like, I'm not dead. Like, right. So, it just kind of, it's odd for them at times. So
I could see that. I could see it being like, oh, I want to remember what you did to your face.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But no, that's for Veterans Day.
Yeah.
But Memorial Day is, just like you said, the soldiers that fell, the fallen soldiers during war. But would that also include those who were veterans but then just passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's not like you had to die in combat to be honored on Memorial Day.
Although that's a conversation that I've had with a couple other veterans is, who should really be celebrated when it comes to like Veterans Day and stuff like that. Because let me put it this way. Let's say you know someone that was an infantryman in the Army, did 3 tours in Iraq. Okay. Do you celebrate Veterans Day for them? You honor them, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you honor the same? Do you honor on the same day in the same way a veteran that, let's say, was more administrative, that was stationed in Hawaii, never saw combat, never hardly fired a gun except to qualify, and was basically in a air-conditioned office doing paperwork 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I see the give and take that a lot of veterans have is like, well, why should you be honored the same way that I am when I was actually like had bullets whizzing by my head, but all you had to do was dodge, PT,
Let me answer that. So I understand the distinction. There
Right.
is a distinction between almost getting killed.
Yeah.
And he kind of just chilled and ran some laps.
The only way that you actually or the closest thing that you got to being killed was playing Call of Duty and dying in that,
Right. Or Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Anyway,
yeah.
I would say, and I will argue
Mm-hmm.
that yes, you should thank a veteran even if they didn't see combat or whatever, because then this is just my argument. They did decide to sign up for the military.
Right.
Because when you do that, you basically say, all right, I'm not going to be me. I'm going to be a soldier for this military position. So in a way, it's like they give up certain rights to be I don't want to say pawn, but to be not themselves, to be used to protect our country. So it's like they gave up a piece of themselves, knowing that it could potentially lead to going into war if something went down in the U.S. And
yes and no, because you can pick your job.
Okay.
I mean, like when I went to go try to enlist in that, it's all depend on your scores, on your ASVAB scores. So if you score high enough, you essentially could choose any job you want. If you score low enough, well, then you're being put into a job. So there are some. I mean, like especially if you look at like Air Force or like the Space Force now. I mean, most of the time they're sitting in AC.
I didn't think about Space Force. That is a branch of our military, right?
Yeah. Coast Guard even gets honored in it as well. They are more, and that is another thing that veterans hate, is trying to honor the Coast Guard. But Coast Guard, they are still, a military type branch, even though they are under the DOD instead of they're under DOD, not DOJ. I'm trying to think of what I had overheard.
What's
some
DOD?
Department of Defense.
And DOJ?
Department of Justice.
Isn't that more like lawyers and judges?
Could be, but I mean, one of them fall under one of them. I can't remember which one which, but I mean, I know that Coast Guard is DOD, but I mean, they get stationed at military housing. They still have military equipment. I
don't know about them Coast Guards. Have you seen those videos popping up of those boats landing onto the shores of like San Diego, and it's a bunch of illegals just jumping out and then scurrying away?
Oh, really?
Like, hey, Coast Guard, what are you guys doing?
Well, what do you want them to do?
I don't know, arrest them.
I mean, I'm sure
they can, because once they're on land, that's not Coast Guard anymore.
It can be.
Oh, it can be.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna write to my congressperson.
From what I've actually heard, Coast Guard has actually been deployed to like Middle East at some point. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I believe Coast Guard can even go into international waters if needed, but usually they don't. Usually, if it's international waters, they just send out the Navy.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah. Memorial Day talk.
But on Memorial Day, I want to say thank you to those fallen soldiers.
And then just a quick thing, I just Googled it, and this is from the National Cemetery Administration about Memorial Day. It says, originally called Decoration Day, it was formalized by a Memorial Day order issued by Grand Army of the Republic Commander-in-Chief John A. Logan in 1868. The modern proclamation calls on Americans to observe Memorial Day by praying according to their individual religious faith or permanent peace. Is Memorial Day only for fallen soldiers? According to the... I don't know that acronym. It's NCSL. It says, following every year on the last Monday of May, Memorial Day honors the men and women who died while serving in all branches of the U.S. military. Nearly 1.2 million military personnel in all conflicts since the Revolutionary War.
Wow.
So, What to say to a veteran on Memorial Day? May we never forget that freedom isn't free. In memory of many, in memory of all. We didn't know them all, but we owe them all. Never forget, ever honor, and fallen but not forgotten. Those are popular quotes that you can use on Memorial Day.
Awesome. I'm glad you brought those up because those are really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we all can agree that we wouldn't have this country if it wasn't for them, if they didn't, like you said, from the Revolutionary War.
Yeah. Which is odd because I could have sworn that Memorial Day started in Civil War, but maybe I don't know. I didn't really look too deep into the articles because
true.
Once you pull up one of those articles, it's like 20 pages worth of back history from all wars and all battles and everything. So
and nobody's got time for that right now.
Yeah, we ain't got time for that.
Maybe for a simple sessions, but not on a regular episode.
Yeah.
But also, not only do we have Memorial Day in the month of May, but we also had another holiday.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, Mother's Day. And I think we should honor our moms in respect to Mother's Day. Marcelo, you got anything to say about your beautiful mother? Or you got some more facts over there? Well, in that case, let me go first. So I want to honor my mother. And as I've mentioned on the podcast before, she did pass away a few years ago. And she was a great mom. And she was the best mom. And I miss her very much, but I always think about her. And I did take my kids to go see her gravestone at Green Hills.
Uh-huh.
And we had a nice little moment. And a funny story, my daughter, the middle one, she started crying because she was like, "What's going on over here?" It was like her first time trying to kind of connecting the dots.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, this is where my mom is buried. They dig up the ground. They put the casket down here. And that's why you see all these gravestones on the floor. And I think at that moment, something clicked in her head like, oh, there's dead people under here.
Yeah. And
then she's always had...
She didn't go, zombies! No? Okay.
No, but they do know what zombies are.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Yeah, it was this crazy moment because it clicked in her head like, oh, I guess people do die. And on Mother's Day at Green Hills, the cemetery, it gets packed.
Yeah, all holidays I've heard.
Yeah. But I would imagine Mother's Day is a big one because everyone knows their mother more or less. I hear some of the coworkers, they don't really know their dads.
Well, yeah.
But mothers are like a big, big deal. It gets crowded there. And you know what's funny? Like people have like grill outs and cookouts out there.
Yeah.
And then my wife goes, I don't know how I feel about that. It's so weird seeing people having grills and cooking out and music and parties. And I'm like, hey, everybody mourns their loved ones differently, I guess.
Yeah.
But
is she buried on the well, by front, I mean like western side, or is she on the other side, like the back side?
So it's hard to explain. It's like towards the back.
Okay.
But towards, like, say if you're looking at the Green Hills entrance, all the way to the right.
Okay. So she by the mausoleum?
A little bit, yeah, like past that a little bit.
Past that? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, because I was going to ask you if that church was still there.
Oh, I don't remember seeing a church.
There's a church on the back side.
I think so.
And it's supposed to be it was actually supposed to be the first church in San Pedro.
No way.
And they were going to tear it down, and they were like, well, we can't. It's such a historical figure. So Green Hills actually paid to have it unearthed or like picked up from its spot and moved into Green Hills in one solid piece.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, and it's like literally no bigger than your garage. It's like this tiny little thing, so.
I'll have to look out for that next time.
I do remember seeing it once when I went there after my Nana was buried. We did go walking, we did, because you know how it's like that one-way road kind of thing? We just went venturing off, kind of on the road, made a big circle, and we saw the church and all that stuff, so.
Oh, very nice. But yeah, it was a nice experience that day. I told my family, like, I want to make it a special thing to go there.
Yeah.
And of course, I bought some flowers. It's funny, we were driving to there. My wife's like, "Oh, we'll just buy some flowers off of the Mexican guy that sells them on the corner." And I'm like, yeah, I always see them.
Yeah.
And so we were on Western and Lomita, and like there he was.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, cinco, 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 and the guy was like, 10. And I was like, man. I'm like, yeah, inflation, I guess.
If you drive up more and you're at PV Drive North and Western, there's a guy that sells flowers in front of the KFC. I think he does them for $5.
I don't know, man. Like I said, inflation.
That's where my dad gets his flowers whenever he goes to see my nana, and I think it's like anywhere from $5 to $8 depending on what he has during the day. So,
well, I figured these people are hustling. I'm like, I'll give you the 10. I gave the guy the 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were some good, nice flowers. So yeah, I took those and dropped them off where my mom was buried, and spent time with the family and remembered my mom. And I remember I told my wife before, like, I know she's not here buried, but I'm like, but I believe in sacred spaces. Sacred places,
sacred ground kind of stuff.
Ground, like,
and not the coffee shop, but yeah.
But I'm like, I know she's not here, like, but it's a place to remember. It's a peaceful setting.
Yeah.
And there's meaning. In these places, so I think it's important to visit these places. So, yeah, we had a nice discussion about that. But yeah. Always remember your mom on Mother's Day. So finally you gathered your thoughts, Marcelo?
So actually what I was going to do before that was to try to go through it as quickly as possible. But according to the History Channel, this is kind of a brief history of Mother's Day.
A little more history with Hefe over here.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Special edition.
Mother's Day is a holiday honoring motherhood that is observed in different forms throughout the world. In the United States, Mother's Day 2024 falls on Sunday, May 12th. The American incarnation of Mother's Day was created by Anna Jarvis in 1908 and became an official U.S. holiday in 1914. Jarvis would later denounce the holiday's commercialization and spent the latter part of her life trying to remove it from the calendar. While dates and celebrations vary, Mother's Day traditionally involves presenting moms with flowers, cards, and other gifts. What is Mother's Day? Celebration of mothers and motherhood can be traced back to the ancient Greeks and Romans, who held festivals in honor of mother goddess Rhea and Cybele. But the clearest modern precedent for Mother's Day is early Christian festival known as Mothering Sunday. Once a major tradition in the United Kingdom and parts of Europe, this celebration fell on the fourth Sunday in Lent and was originally seen as a time when the faithful would return to their mother church, the main church in the vicinity of their home, for a special service. Over the time, the Mothering Sunday tradition shifted into a more secular holiday, and children would present their mothers with flowers and other tokens of appreciation. This custom eventually faded in popularity before merging with the American Mother's Day in 1930s and 40s. Did you know more phone calls are made on Mother's Day than any other day of the year? These holiday chats with mom often cause phone traffic to spike by as much as 37%. The origin of Mother's Day is celebrated in the United States date back to the 19th century. In the years before the Civil War, Ann Reeves Jarvis of West Virginia helped start Mother's Day work clubs to teach local women how to properly care for their children. These clubs later became a unifying force in a region of the country still divided over the Civil War. In 1868, Jarvis organized Mother's Friendship Day, at which mothers gathered with former Union and Confederate soldiers to promote reconciliation. Another precursor to Mother's Day came from the abolitionist and suffragette Julia Ward Howe. In 1870, Howe wrote the Mother's Day Proclamation, a call to action that asked mothers to unite in promoting world peace. In 1873, Howe campaigned for a Mother's Day peace treaty to be celebrated every June 2nd. Other early Mother's Day pioneers included Juliet Calhoun Blakely, a temperance activist who inspired the local Mother's Day in Albion, Michigan in the 1870s. The duo of Mary Towles Sesson and Frank Herring, meanwhile, both worked to organize a Mother's Day in the late 19th century and early 20th centuries. Some have even called Herring the father of Mother's Day. The official Mother's Day holiday arose in the 1900s as a result of the efforts of Anna Jarvis, daughter of Anne Reeves Jarvis. Following her mother's 1905 death, Anna Jarvis conceived of Mother's Day as a way of honoring the sacrifices mothers made for their children. After gaining financial backing from a Philadelphia department store owner named John Wanamaker in May 1908, she organized the first official Mother's Day celebration at a Methodist church in Grafton, West Virginia. That same day also saw thousands of people attend a Mother's Day event at one of Wanamaker's retail stores in Philadelphia. Following the success of her first Mother's Day, Jarvis, who remained unmarried and childless her whole life, resolved to see her holiday added to the national calendar, arguing that American holidays were biased towards male achievements. She started a massive letter-writing campaign to the newspapers and prominent politicians urging the adoption of a special day honoring motherhood. By 1912, many states, towns, and churches had adopted Mother's Day as an annual holiday, and Jarvis had established the Mother's Day International Association to help promote her cause. Her persistence paid off. In 1914, when President Woodrow Wilson signed a measure officially establishing the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day. Anna Jarvis had originally conceived Mother's Day as a day of personal celebration between mothers and families. Her version of the day involved wearing a white carnation as a badge and visiting one's mother or attending church services. But once Mother's Day became a national holiday, it was not long before florists, card companies, and other merchants capitalized on its popularity. While Jarvis had initially worked with the floral industry to help raise Mother's Day profile, by 1920 she had become disgusted with how the holiday had been commercialized. She outwardly denounced the transformation and urged people to stop buying Mother's Day flowers, cards, and candies. Jarvis eventually resorted to an open campaign against Mother's Day profiteers, speaking out against confectioners, florists, and even charities. She also launched countless lawsuits against groups that had used the name Mother's Day, especially spending most of her personal wealth on legal fees. By the time of her death in 1948, Jarvis had disowned the holiday altogether, and even actively lobbied the government to see it removed from the American calendar. While versions of Mother's Day are celebrated worldwide, traditions vary depending on the country. In Thailand, for example, Mother's Day is always celebrated in August on the birthday of the current queen, Sirikit. Okay. Another alternative observance of Mother's Day can be found in Ethiopia, where families gather each fall to sing songs and eat large feasts as part of, I'm going to fuck this up, Antroshist, a multi-day celebration honoring motherhood. In the United States, Mother's Day continues to be celebrated by presenting mothers and other women with gifts and flowers, and has become one of the biggest holidays for consumer spending. Families also celebrate by giving mothers a day off from activities like cooking or other household chores. At times, Mother's Day has also been a date for launching political or feminist causes. In 1968, Coretta Scott King, wife of Martin Luther King Jr., used Mother's Day to host a march in support of underprivileged women and children. In the 1970s, women's group also used the holiday as a time to highlight the need for equal rights and access to child care. And that is all they have on History Channel.
Well, that was fascinating. I mean... Oh, there you go. There, catch your breath.
Right. Yeah, right. Whew, that was
some good reading, though.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that the person who wanted Mother's Day to be a national holiday,
and got it
as
a national holiday,
then denounced and said, "We got to get this off."
Yeah, all because I mean, I get her point.
I do. I get it, because once something becomes a national holiday, then socially things happen
it's just
that you don't expect it to.
To be honest, and not because I'm biased on it, but the only holiday that I believe should be like commercialized is Halloween.
Oh, you are 1,000% biased.
I mean, otherwise,
ever since I've known you, you were like the Halloween king.
But it's like, then you look at because I think like Halloween isn't quite like a family traditional kind of a holiday. It's like a mischievous kind of holiday, Whereas like when you would have like, let's say Christmas, how commercialized Christmas has become.
That's super commercialized.
Exactly. And even more so, I guess you could kind of Thanksgiving a little bit, mainly because of the Black Fridays and those kind of shopping days.
Because
stuff like
of that. But as far as getting together with family and friends, I think that's a good aspect of Thanksgiving.
Right, yeah.
But the shopping part, that's way too crazy. The Christmas too, I know people celebrate it differently, but once again, the commercial aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, coming...
I could see her. I could see. What was her name? Abigail?
No, Anna Jarvis.
Anna Jarvis. I could see Anna Jarvis's point. Why it turned into something like a monster that she wasn't expecting it to
all
become.
She wanted it was just to honor moms and just basically, show respect to them and all that stuff. And now it's like, oh, how much money are you going to spend on mom this year? Kind of a thing. So
yeah, and I think we both see eye to eye on that. Like.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be.
It should be a little more subtle, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because some people want to show off, like this is how much I love my mom.
Yeah, and of course, there's always someone out there that has to outdo you. However, you do it your way. Someone always has to outdo you. So,
which, I wish it didn't have to be that way. Like with any holiday, like hey, don't worry. During Christmas, I always tell people, don't worry about getting me anything.
Yeah.
Just even if it's just a pair of socks, like I'd be thrilled to get that. But people have is like, oh, I got to get them a lot of things. Like, no, you don't. Unless
you're like my dad, whose birthday falls after Christmas.
Oh.
He says when he was growing up, like they would give him like one shoe, like the left shoe on Christmas and the right shoe on his birthday. So
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, but I've been fortunate that my mom hasn't quite. I'm sure all moms want to be, wine and dined at the finest places, but luckily my mom has never been that kind of person to where she needs it every time. When my sister or when we were able to afford Disney annual passes, we would just get a reservation at a restaurant in Disney and go there. It didn't have to be like the
Blue Lagoon what was it called?
Yeah, Blue Lagoon. There's a Blue Lagoon. It didn't have to be Blue Lagoon, didn't have to be Carthay Circle.
Or the Jazz Cafe.
Yeah.
Downtown Disney.
Yeah, she was happy with just going there and going to like Plaza Cafe, the one like on Main Street to get some fried chicken.
Dude, I would just be happy with one of those Disneyland corn dogs.
I thought you'd say with the churro.
Oh, that too?
Yeah.
Or the
pickle. Have you seen the pickle now?
No, I haven't.
You can go over and get a whole pickle. I've been talking about it for a while just because I never knew that they sold pickles and why they're so popular. But they say that they're like, I've heard they say that they're really good. But my sister and her girlfriend have had them, and they say, well, actually my sister because her girlfriend hates pickles. Oh. But my sister tried one. She says it's a pickle. It's a pickle. But I don't know. It could just be because it's Disney and people are so fascinated with Disney.
Yeah, but I'd just go for the cream cheese pretzel.
I never had that. I'll have to try that next time. Like this past year for Mother's Day, or this year for Mother's Day, all we do was take my mom to where did we go? The Abbey. It's a restaurant that my mom and I go to almost once a week. So it's like a regular spot, and we just went there and just made it like a day like usual. And this one was kind of a little special because my sister actually was able to sit down. We were actually able to coordinate something before she went to work.
Oh, nice.
And sit down. So that was a little nicer and different for my mom. But
yeah, and I bet that's all your mom could ever ask for.
And then a week later, she was on a cruise. She was on a cruise down up to Alaska. So
and she was like, "Well,
bye."
That Mother's Day breakfast was now time to party.
Yeah, right. And party did she do? She fell and busted her head because somebody was saying something about a drink package, but it could be. Hell, she's having fun. So
she was pounding it too hard.
Maybe.
Well, I hope she's okay.
She loves Fireball. So.
Ooh. But anyway, yeah. All that to say, with the holiday talk and everything, keeping it nice and simple. That's what we're all about. Is keeping it nice and simple.
Before we get there, because I know what you're trying to allude to.
No, you don't. But go ahead.
I don't want to make my mom out to sound like an alcoholic. She deserves to drink whatever she is. The woman has gone through breast cancer 3 times.
Holy crap!
Most people don't. Most people get it once and that's it. She got it 3 times.
And she has to put up with you still.
Exactly. The fuck is wrong with her?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So,
Marcel, I'm going to make an executive decision right now that we've never done, but I hope you understand why. It's late.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to cancel Simple Times News on this one. Is that all right?
I had a good one, too, that actually I've been saving for a while. If I can go through mine real quick, it's just the one, and it's it's kind of a short story.
In that case, I'll axe mine because
I think this one you would actually find pretty hilarious, too.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. You do find really good stories.
Yeah.
Like the one on the previous episode was really good. So
you'll have to refresh my memory at some point, but I don't remember that one was.
Yeah, I don't remember right now because I'm too tired. It's late. But cue the music.
From Fox 2 Detroit. Someone keeps pooping on headstones in Dearborn Cemetery. Yeah. Police so this is that's the Dearborn,
Michigan. Are you sure it wasn't a bird?
No, I'm positive. Trust me. Wait till you hear this. Police have received seven, not several, 7 reports of an individual pooping on various headstones at Northview Cemetery in Dearborn, Michigan. The incidents have been taking place since December 25th. Dearborn police confirmed. The perpetrator has targeted a different grave each time. Police do not have a lead at this time. Now, this was on April 23rd. So, because I have a little bit of an update after.
I like how it ties into our cemetery.
Yeah, right.
And everything.
Yeah. So, police do not have a lead at this time, but are still working to identify and locate the person responsible. Dearborn police have not submitted the stool for DNA testing, according to the department. At this time, the state is prioritizing a backlog of evidence involved in more serious cases.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
backlog.
Right. Late actor George Peppard, known for his roles in Breakfast at Tiffany's and The A-Team, is buried at Northview Cemetery. However, his grave has not been targeted by the serial pooper.
Oh my goodness.
So, and by the way, that actor, in case you don't know, did you ever watch the original A-Team series?
Yeah.
He's Hannibal. So he's the main guy. You know, I love it when a plan comes together.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Okay. So that's the actor that has been targeted. And they said that, I think at one point I heard on another podcast that was talking about it, the serial pooper pooped on the grave to the right and to the left of the actor and skipped him. So they were like, maybe he's an A-Team fan and didn't want to poop on him. Either way,
he had too much respect.
Yeah, probably. So, and then also on another one, when they were talking, trying to figure it out, they said the reason why they can't ID him, because there's cameras on it, but the guy comes in wearing a black hoodie and black sweats. So at night.
Just as one would to do that.
Exactly, yeah. So since then, so when they first came out, they were like, we don't know who this guy is. We don't know why he's doing it. We don't know anything about it. We're too busy doing other stuff. We'll come back to it later. Since then, there have been speculation as to why this guy could be doing it. And no, it's not because he's constipated or anything like that. Because there is even some theories that, like, oh, well, maybe he needs to hold on to the headstones. Maybe the headstones are at the right height for him to hold on to take a squat. Like, there's all kinds of weird
speculations.
Yeah. But there's one that actually made sense that a few people have somewhat confirmed. They think this is retaliation against the groundskeeper for that cemetery, because there have been many reports put into the owners of the cemetery about the groundskeeper for yelling at children and chasing people out that he just doesn't like.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I think.
Yeah. So the speculation that the only one that makes sense is it's retaliation because, well, who's got to clean it up? The groundskeeper.
You know, Marcel, I don't know why poop is so funny, but my middle daughter, anything poop is hilarious to her.
For some reason, one of the podcasts I listen to has a whole segment about what is it called? I forget what the segment's called, but it's about like inappropriate things, inappropriate toys, and a lot of them lately. And they said that for whatever reason in this generation, a lot of them are like poop related. Like I guess there's a toy where like you're literally pulling like strings out of like I do remember when we were growing up there was one, it was like a giant nose and there were boogers. Well, think of that, but it's a butt. And you're pulling strings out, and the one who loses is the one that pulls the string that shit comes out.
For kids?
For kids.
You know, my kids do have a dog poop one.
Yeah, there's that one too, yeah.
You roll the dice, and then you feed the dog.
Yeah.
And then when you feed it enough, poops out of its butt, and then you're the loser if that happens.
And then I think there's another one where like you like pump the tail or something like that, and like you same kind of thing. Like if you move the tail 5 times, you know, whatever kind of a thing. Yeah, this the fascination with poop with this generation. I don't get.
Yeah, you don't want to see my daughter's search history on YouTube Kids.
Yeah, I don't think I wanted to see your daughter's search history at all.
Anyway, well. Poop being funny to kids.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a cheap segue. Let's just get into it.
Just do it. It's time for Jokes with Hefe.
So, fortunately, I do have Memorial Day jokes and Mother's Day jokes. Unfortunately, they suck because most of them are kind of interchangeable.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's like they'll get like a joke, but then they'll change maybe like the setting of the joke, same kind of joke, but they'll put like, instead of being like on 4th of July, oh, it's on Mother's Day, or instead of it, so...
Can you do me a favor, Marcel?
Yeah.
Since you didn't let me do my executive action and cancel Simple Times News, can you at least like just give us a little bit of each?
That's what I was going to do. Yeah.
Just a few.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, a few of the ones that are like solid memorial jokes and solid mom jokes. Otherwise, I mean, like I didn't want to pull up like yo mama jokes. I figured that's kind of childish and not quite.
We'll save it for another day, those mama jokes.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll do Memorial Day jokes first, since we talked about that first.
Give us a few.
Why did the soldier bring a ladder to the barbecue?
Why?
He wanted to raise the stakes.
Okay. No, it was perfect, Marcel. There's no need to tear up.
Why don't Memorial Day jokes work? Because they always march on. See? Like there's some of them.
That was better than the first.
What did the tomato say to the lettuce on Memorial Day? Let us have a moment of silence.
All right, kind of funny.
What did the Memorial Day flag wear to the party? What did the Memorial Day flag wear to the party?
What?
Red, white, and blue full outfit.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, let's go to Mother's Day jokes because the rest of them just kind of seem to repeat itself. So,
all right.
Like I said, it was slim pickings for this holiday. I guess you know for whatever reason there seems to be no funny ha-has on these two holidays. You know, go figure.
Yeah, I suppose.
So let's do some Mother's Day jokes. Some of these are actually pretty good, but you know it's still kind of meh. Mom's recipe for iced coffee.
Oh, I'm into this.
Step 1, have kids. Step 2, make coffee. Step 3, forget you made coffee. Step 4, drink it cold.
Yeah, I could see that. You know what I do? I make a big pot of coffee. I drink it warm in the morning, and then this is probably not hygienic, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Healthy.
When I get back home from work, there's always like some leftover coffee. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna drink it cold. There's probably like germs and stuff, bacteria already growing in there.
Well, as long as you clean the pot right.
I suppose.
What did the baby corn say to the mama corn?
What?
Where's popcorn?
Yeah, he said he was out for milk, I guess.
Have you heard the urban legend about what happens when you scream mom 3 times in the shower? She appears with a towel you forgot. Motherhood has shown me that you don't need fun to have alcohol. Silence is golden. Unless you have kids, then silence is suspicious. Motherhood is like a fairy tale, but in reverse. You start out in a beautiful ball gown and end up in stained rags cleaning up after little people.
Oh,
I guess a lot of these can also be double up with some with Father's Day too. So.
Yeah.
How do you keep little cows quiet so that mommy can sleep late? You use the mute button.
I was waiting for it. Yep, there it was.
Why did the Bean children give their mom a sweater? She was chilly.
Ooh, I like chili.
When you finally have time for a girls' night and realize your entire wardrobe went out of style in 2003. That's more for the moms than you. So just kind of.
All right.
Nothing is lost until mom can't find it.
True story.
Cleaning with kids in the house is like brushing your teeth with Oreos.
Ugh. I like double stuff, though.
Yeah, I do too. What did the tree tell her son before a big game? I'm rooting for you.
Nice. Yeah.
Who do flowers celebrate on Mother's Day?
Daisies and roses. I don't know.
They're chrysanthemums.
Chrysanthemum mums.
Mums. And let's see if I can find one good one. I have a little one-liner. I'll look for another actress. I want to be a Pinterest mom, but I'm more of an Amazon Prime mom.
What's the difference?
You don't know what Pinterest is?
I know what Pinterest is.
It's usually like do-it-yourself kind of stuff. Like you find little things on there and like how to make this. But why do that when you can go on Amazon Prime and find it already built? So,
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. You know you're a mom when you understand why Mama Bear's porridge was too cold. Because she's always doing something. She always forgets about it. You know, she's so busy.
Oh, I thought there was going to be a punchline afterward. That was just it.
That was just one-liner. Quick little one-liner. It's sad when you sit around waiting for mom to make dinner. Then you realize you are the mom.
Oh.
And we'll do this last one because the other ones are kind of getting... Actually, we'll do two more because this one's actually a pretty good one.
All right.
Why was Mother Firefly so happy? Because her children were all so bright.
Oh.
Why was it?
They probably didn't go to LAUSD schools.
Yeah, they probably did not. Why was it so hard? Oh, this will be the last one.
Okay.
Why was it so? Because it's already 12:05. Why was it so hard for the pirate to call his mom? Because she left the phone off the hook. Ooh, we'll do this one because my mom hates spiders real quick. What did the mommy spider say to the baby spider? You spend too much time on the web.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
We say as if we don't need we don't need the internet. So
no, but
for a podcast.
Well, yeah, I mean you do need a internet for the podcast, but some people are just on the internet nonstop.
I believe that's called a porn addiction, Andrew.
Well, look at the time.
Do we need to look at your search history?
No, please don't. You'll just see me just reading articles about astrophysics.
Of how to keep your kids away from poop?
Yeah. I always have to end on the poop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Marcelo, I've got nothing left.
I don't either.
Let's just end it right here.
Yep.
Don't forget, you listeners, find us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, and write to us at simpletimespodcast@gmail.com if you want to talk to us and give us any feedback, questions, comments. That's the place to do it. Anything else I'm forgetting, check out Fear and Review.
I was just going to say that. Fear and Review, we are on Instagram.
And by we, Marcelo means Marcelo and
me
his...
and Rory.
If you guys haven't figured out yet, Marcelo does have a second podcast. Isn't that amazing?
I do.
So please go check out A Fear and Review.
Yeah. On Instagram.
Follow, subscribe.
Yep.
Oh, and and follow them on Instagram.
Yep.
A Fear and Review.
A Fear and Review. And as of right now, we are only on Spotify. We're working to get to the other platforms, but as of right now, you can only find us on Spotify.
Oh yeah, just on Spotify, but soon on Apple Podcasts, right?
Soon, yeah, hopefully, if we can figure it out soon on Apple, on Google Podcasts while they're still around. They're shutting down in June.
Oh, in June?
Yeah. Google Podcasts shutting down soon on Amazon Music.
Sweet.
Let's see what else, like Stitcher and all the other places that you find podcasts and all that stuff. We should be on that at some point, but yeah, as of right now, we're not an exclusive because we're not being paid by Spotify, but we can only be found on Spotify for the time being. So
yeah, and Spotify is cool because you can interact with the podcast creators, leave them messages and stuff on there. So always keep that in mind.
Yep.
But yeah, A Fear and Review, and this podcast has been a BeachGlass Media podcast. And is that it?
I think so.
All right.
It's 12. It's almost 12:10. So.
And we've been going on for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, so we spent way too much time talking about McDonald's, so we need to.
Not only was this the mother of all memorials, this was the mother of all our podcasts.
Yeah. The mother of what is it? Whack-Donald's?
Whack Arnold's.
Whack Arnold's. You remember, you wouldn't say Whack Arnold's. I'm saying Whack Donald's. So.
All right. Let's go grab a McChicken.
Yeah. Just don't go whack off here.